Because you could actually believe, the last research that was being done, so there's a research going around Yama Index where they rank Ama cities, but they were looking at coastal cities and provinces. So PE, Tina, and Cape Town as a tourism destination. And actually Durban won against Cape Town in that award. That was last year. So that tells you, because index will look at a lot of things. What happens in the ports, in our oceans economy. Joburg doesn't feature in oceans economy.
Yeah, but
so if we look at it in development wise, kungaba khona kaningi la sisha khona ezinye indawo. But if we talk about life per se, I think it's just a general behavior amongst abantu abasendaweni abayijet la ngilexile ayila ngiyasebenza nani.
Yeah, dreams. Yeah, I got dreams. Yeah, I got dreams. Yeah, I got dreams. Let me do me now. Let me do me. Let me do me now. Let me do me. I got dreams. Yeah, I got big dreams. I don't sleep, cause nothing really comes cheap. I be at the stool runner all day, putting in the work, gonna always. Never sleeping on myself, gonna no ways. Giving in my all, gonna showcase. I got dreams for my baby. Yeah, I got dreams for my daughter. So give her what she needs in this world, yeah. So give her what she needs and support her. Cause see, I got a dream, I'm a man now. But it's more than just a dream, it's a plan now. Now where you can put in that thing, gonna try more. Until you find the dream you can strive for, or even die for. Dreams. Yeah, I got dreams. Yeah, I got dreams. Yeah, I got dreams. Let me do me now. Let me do me. Let me do me now. Let me do me.
Nanibabukele emakhaya sengiphinde ngabuya futhi with another episode of Now Popile nihleli nolumkilo kazinyanga ke njengenjwayelo uma ukuthi awaka-subscribe epage, just make sure ukuthi you subscribe yabo. Subscribe musa nje kulokhu udlala kancane yabo. Awu-subscribe ngani? Hawu subscribe yabo. Subscribe yes content iningi yabo. Business of the day yabo. Today I'm with a brother nje lana uDon yabona we met Regent Business School kade senza course nje ethile kade siyenza edila nosomaBusiness. So sithe siyenze le podcast yabo without wasting any time. Ngizofuna nje ukuthi ayichaze mfethu. How are you my brother?
I'm good.
I am good mfethu. Don't leave me hanging. Yeah mfethu nje ngicela nje ukuqala nje yabo phela zonke umuntu abe comfortable we introduce nje mfethu wonke umuntu azi ukuthi ubani uDon mfethu.
Yeah. Thank you for the opportunity my brother. Igama lami uDon Mthethwa. I think it's right to say I'm an entrepreneur, a business owner. I'm in the business communication space, so that we do a lot of business communications, media communications. So let's just call it communications professional. Yeah, so I'm also an author, first time published author. And yeah, that's just one of the accolades that I wear. But I think I'm a person like any other entrepreneur who is in their journey, relating with the journey, embracing the journey, entrepreneurship. So yeah, just in a nutshell, I'm that guy. From eThekwini also, I've worked a lot in Joburg. I also stay in between at times. Kodwa no, gwala eThekwini.
Vele manje uzalelwe khona la eThekwini noma mhlawumbe uke wahlala somewhere before uze uqinisa usufika ngapha?
No, ngwakhona la ngokuzala. But I've stayed in Joburg for a very long time. Yeah, and then I bounce back every now and then.
Okay ngoba vele into esike sithanda ukuyenza kunawo Popile yabona sifuna nje ukubuyela eqaleni sazi kahle istory yabo kwa ukuthi ke kwa inspiration manje ukhula nje yabo ukhule kanjani mfethu. How was the family, binjani nje environment and the situation?
I think that's an interesting one ngoba ngibona ngathi leyo environment iwona angimolda you know, to become the person that I am today. I think, excuse me, from early childhood, ngikhule, ubaba noma they were both business people. In their own spaces, in their own spaces, but khona leyo nto le hlezi as an individual growing up or as a child growing up, if you're inquisitive, uhlezi uyibuza ukuthi what is it that they do, especially uma uthola ukuthi yabona preschool, what do they call it, preschool or grade?
Yeah, crash.
I never used to like it ngoba yabo umzali mekushiya bese yahamba mhlawumbe so you now used to teach, but the teacher say akushiya and you go to the aftercare. So aftercare I never used to like it. Kwaze kwaphoqa ukuthi maybe one of them afika azongipick up and then ngihlale nabe office nani. So I think leyo exposure to the office environment sort of kwaba yinto eyangigruma nami growing up. But yeah, ngikhulele kasi, ngikhule kakhulu ngihlala I think with a lot of people amajita skula. But I left Ekasi very early, you know, to go and stay. I grew up in Westville most of my time, most of my days. So there I was sort of like isolated, and that's when the love of literature came up. Because I think the most best thing, if I come at you can just sit down and read a book. Yeah,
and yabona manje you get to tap even kwawena kuwena ngampela cause phela ekasi kuyaphithizela ekasi sometimes uyazigeja ngampela you end up even not finding yourself ke manje as a person ukuthi ubani ugcina usulandela, so ukuthola leyo nto nje at a young age ngiyabona ukuthi ngampela you had like influence engakanani. So manje obanike mhlambe that you were looking up to ngaleso sikhathi nabe be inspire nje mfethu to dream more yabo.
Yeah. I think, funny enough, I related kakhulu to, let me call them statesmen. I think we yeah, but let me call them statesmen. I think I related a lot to statesmen. Ngoba benale posture. Every time we would see a statesman, we would see them nale posture, and we would know these are the kind of people ababeki country to on the map, whether it's a country, province, but being a representative, I know, and a posture, whether we rally or whatever the case is. But I used to relate a lot to that because also, I'm basically around board people who are so much involved in politics. But a lot of other people, I think it's people that you would read about, or normally in your books. You're reading a lot more about invention, about Steve Jobs. I also like T.D. Jakes a lot, by the way. I related to him, you know, spiritually and also in a business sense. So I always thought, who can put those things together. That person is someone who's worth looking up to. Who else can I think of? Richard Branson. I used to like the guy also, with the Branson sense. I thought I think that's the first time I even got exposed to a enterprise development program, or similar to what we had. And more of them. Simon Sinek, he was one also.
Yeah, even now I still follow Simon Sinek.
So generally those kind of people that a lot of entrepreneurs I think relate to. And then more of the local guys also, I would mention, but at a very late stage, I started discovering people like wosomaBusiness, you know, and to understand some of the jargon that goes a business scene. Just a business, so now I follow a lot more.
So manje iLoba Creations, was it your first company noma mhlambe ibikhona enye company that you've opened before?
Yeah, so the story of Loba Creations was a company that's pretty much as old as more than I am actually. But then the company was dissolved by my mother. So and ngaleso sikhathi besemthatha and all of those, so hence the name Loba, because it means ukubhala ngithi.
Yeah.
So that company dissolved, but having grown up ngabona ngendlela I passionate ngayo na yonke leyo. I had a company that I started, was called TBG. TBG Consulting. And then after a while we just did a name change. So it's pretty much the same company, same Yeah, but we just did a name change to sort of like preserve leli gama lelana nalento lalimina again.
Phela that's good yabo. That's good ngiyabona ukuthi kushuthi into yakho vele into ngempela yabo esuka kude phela ngoba abanye mfethu thina siyibambe late yabo nje mina first time mfethu ngiba ne interaction with the entrepreneurship beko 2017 yabo ngiqala nje ukunderstand ukuthi what is entrepreneurship because phela bengivele ngumuntu wa-commerce esikoleni yabo kodwa manje lokho uyakwazi ukuthi ufunde ucommerce kodwa uthola ukuthi awu understand yonke lento oyenzayo yabo kuyi-understanda nje kahle so wena ukuthi uyithole at that age ngiyabona ukuthi it having an impact even kwakuwena ukuthi nje izokhula kanjani kwayona icompany ngoba phela i-planning inkulu yabo ubusubhala vele kade uvula icompany noma ikuphi ukufika kuqala writing and entrepreneurship.
Entrepreneurship came first, but ngoba I think it involves a lot of writing. Umsebenzi wethu when we do my business plan, proposals, and all of that. It's something ebukeka commercial and maybe programmed in a way. Kodwa masuyibuka lezi zinto, they really need you to tap into your mind. I mean, different kind of minds, calibers, and think creative on the one side and think sustainability and strategy on the other side. So yonke leyo into with the mind bogging nokubhala izinto ke commercial nani sort of like ina lento yokuthi hey there's a creative side that you're not tapping into. So I would say business started first but it sort of groomed me for uthando lokubhala.
What was the first book that you've ever owayibhala nje yaphuma?
None of them was released actually. This was my third attempt. And this is the first published.
Black Instinct, Distinct. Ngoba ngiyafuna vele ukuthi sikhulume ngayo nje kakhulu yabo ukuthi yini eyak-inspire vele ukuthi kwakhona nje uzuyibhale yona incwadi.
Yeah, so the story also now relates to entrepreneurship. I think so there's a quote that I heard the one time it's time that Africans told African stories, because a lot of content about Africa is told by other people other than Africans.
Even Shaka Zulu mhlophe
mfowethu. Movie they are produced by other people who don't sometimes maybe classify as Africans. So ngayithanda leya quote ngathi no, it actually speaks to a lot of us, even though maybe it was directed at multimedia creatives, abantu abenza nama-movie nalama-stories esiwabukayo. But I thought we can also bring it to literature because there wasn't a lot nakhona that we could relate to. Or mhlambe ngale ndlela engangisengifunde ngayo iy'ncwadi mina engangizazi ukuthi okay they are written by people who are local engibaziyo mhlambe noma I hear of them. So yeah, that quote I can say in a nutshell nako konke that came after it sort of was an inspiration for me to say hey be one of those ekufanele babhale those African stories.
Ngoba phela kumele sibhalwe ayiyona yonke into yethu uma uzobheka ihistory yethu thina siyitshelwa abantu fethu nabo abafike sesi-exista vele already. How can you tell us ngehistory yethu kuma ukuthi usifice sesi-exista vele? Shuthi vele you are lying to us in some way. And yona agenda leyo la South Africa ngesomthetho uma uzobheka kahle and ngwakhona ukuthi uyiqale kwi-literature ku-right ukuyiqala kwi-literature because phela ngesomthetho yonke into uma sikhuluma iqiniso iqala encwadini yabo. Even i-movie it's always ama-books mfethu inspire lezo zinto yabo. Ngisho ama-sci-fi that we watch uthola ukuthi kwakuyincwadi before yabo. Even isho Game of Thrones buka kwakuyincwadi before yabo. Ziningi vele izinto abantu othola ukuthi incwadi ifika ispark i-brain and then umuntu athathe leyo idea and then run with it yabo.
Or 50 Shades.
Maningi kakhulu yabo. So njengomuntu wena ke nje mhlawumbe ohlale eGoli wahlala nala eThekwini umehluko mfethu ngathi imuphi nje mfethu ungakanani ama challenges mhlawumbe eGoli nala eThekwini ahluke kangakanani?
One of which I think one of is in that have been obvious over the years ukuthi eGoli life is fast yabo. eThekwini even though we are growing steadily at a pace but the reality is still that Mthethwa still has to catch up. But that's not in terms of mhlambe nakhona kubalekile ukuthi sikubeke out there. That's not in terms of the development per se of the cities. I'm talking about impilo yakhona per se, because and I always say ukuthi the reason mhlambe kokanjalo nakhona we don't classify demographics or LSM or whatever, but sikhuluma ngendaba zokuthi here there's a lot of people abazalelwa la kusekhaya for most people, and eGoli maybe we can term it as a commercial province.
Akekho umuntu ongathi waseGoli nozalelwe khona kodwa impande abazala isokukhona.
Yes, exactly. So ngoba ngisho nabahlala khona nabantu abadala kusukela kudala ngoba babehambe ngoba beyosebenza, so it's known for that. So that's why ngithi impilo iyashesha, because kunalento ukuthi mawukhona your mind continuously says ngisendaweni yokusebenza, yabo. So whether you have a house or whatever, but you know ukuthi ila ngokufika and ngisendaweni yokusebenza. I think it's pretty much the same thing that we see mhlambe nabantu engingabona abala abangokufika, and we see izinga abayiphusha ngayo ukuthi mhlambe khona leyo reminder ukuthi angena la, so whether they send money back home nani. So my experience has been that ukuthi no eGoli impilo iyashesha, and then la this is where we all come back and we calm down and ngoba sesazi sisekhaya.
Ngoba phela ngesomthetho as much as ishesha nathi siyafuna ukuthi isheshe kanje kahlahle la eNatal, because mina I feel like iyona into esingathi isibambile to like level up, yabona wonke umuntu akwazi ukwenza into singayi adjusta kanjani le mhlambe lento. How can we like make sure ukuthi as much as umuntu kusekhaya akalali kodwa to that extent, because phela ukulala thina silala kakhulu futhi uyazi mawusekhaya ukuthi vele uzolala udlile udinga irent, kodwa manje we need people to hustle like abeke ekhaya.
Yes. I think into ezodlala irole kakhulu kuloko is lento ye-urbanization, this whole smart city and what philosophies are going around and plans. Like the new development emhlanga, it now puts us good position yokuthi people are no longer looking at us ukuthi bebethi mosuke eGoli uza eThekwini, whether it's Durban or whatever, kuthiwa we eNatal, and the whole classification eNatal ukuthi emakhaya
plazika phela esadothi vele zamabhinga vele kuyaziwa.
So makufika ama developments akanje isiyashintsha narrative manje, the way that people are looking at Durban. So now it's going to be more of a commercial destination, ngoba sekuzofika tourism, and then other things will follow as well. So ngenkathi abantu beba busy, and even now it's even better because we can say that even the economy it's a bit shaky. Kodwa the good part about what's happening is that imqondo yabantu siyayibona ukuthi siyashintsha ekuthenini bacaba whether they work or not, kodwa sebekwazi ukuthi bacabanga ukuthi what can I do to supplement my income, kube khona secondary income nani. So leyo mindset alone makes people want to get busy. So sebecabanga manje sekwenziwa omadeko omabani, so it slowly but surely it is becoming a commercial place, and it sizoba fast ngale yandlela because entertainment, I would bet for Durban ukuthi it's actually the best here.
Ikuyona nje commercial phela ukuthi ukuthola exposure lapha phezulu thina sikakafiki kuleyo level ukuthi phela we are moving there, yabo. Even wawena nje obusho because ngampela omhlanga yabona manje no Balitho they are leading, yabo, benza sure ukuthi they are setting a good example nje even for everyone going forward, because phela nathi we need abantu abazophumelela la, yabo. I think it's time mfethu ungadingi ukuthi wonke umuntu uzuye eGoli ngampela to like really make it, yabo. Kumele ibe khona leyo nto ukuthi nalana ukwazi ukwenza izinto ngampela zenzeke.
Yes.
Because phela si special.
Si special kakhulu. I think futhi profiling also yadlala indima kakhulu lapha, because I culture, the neutral culture of South Africa is more dependent on media. What the media says is what people believe. So if in media, if focus yayo is on Joburg as a world-class city, everyone would relate to Joburg. as the place to be. It's okay, it's a city of gold, so that's where I need to be for me to access some opportunities. So I focus in media now, my shinja, and they then focus on another city or another province. By profiling alendlela to make people believe it now, sekuyindawo yokuthola imali, then I think futhi nakhona that's going to accelerate it.
Because phela thina ngasomthetho mawuzobheka in terms of nature mfethu nje asithi izinto nje ezikhona nje idaliwe awungeke phela ivibe thina into yethu mfethu yabo eThekwini mfethu ayikho into yabo uyebishi mfethu uma ufuna izinto eziningi izinto esinazo thothi nisegoli nabo abanazo that we can take advantage of noma ke phela ke sibe namaphula empty yabona nje yakade aba empty mfethu and phela sidla kayi tourism izinto lezo nathi njengabantu engicabanga ukuthi vele sibheke ukuthi ishintshe because phela iTheku mina ngiyakhumbula even the first time ngize eThekwini because mina ngazalelwa khona la eThekwini kodwa ngaye emakhaya yabo so emakhaya futhi umuntu waphaphamela khona emakhaya ukuthi aqale nje abone impilo so ngeke azathi kungaka ekwazi la yabo umuntu kodwa eqale uzalana esiza nesikole futhi sasibhuka ukuthi kumaphuli wonke lamaphula empty ayegcwele mfethu and vibe yayilapho ubona ngempela ukuthi hayi because phela into abantu abayizela eThekwini mfethu to relax yabo especially laba basuke bephuma kwamanye amazwe usuke umuntu efuna ukuzorelax mfethu enjoy impilo manje manginezinto ezikanjeni uyabona ukuthi siyalimala ngempela yabo
because you can actually believe ukuthi the last research that was being done so there's a research going around about index where they rank our cities but they were looking at coastal cities and provinces so PE Tina in Cape Town as a tourism destination and actually Durban won against Cape Town in that award that was last year so that tells you because index will look at a lot of things what happens in the ports in our oceans economy Joburg doesn't feature in oceans economy so if we look at it in development wise kungaba khona kaningi la sisha khona ezinye indawo but if we talk about life per se I think it's just a general behavior amongst abantu abasendaweni abayijet la ngilexile ayila ngiyasebenza nani
because phela nane perception yethu about man I think it has to change especially because thina I perception yethu ayifani nezinye indawo mfethu yabo uma ngingashintsha nanayo leyo ndlela and I perception izoshintsha uma isiqala vele imali baningi yabo ila wonke umuntu ezoqala understand better ukuthi oh yabo because phela thina sididekile ngempela yabona sididekile kakhulu yabo so ke manje since ke phela umuntu vele odila ne creativity mfethu yabo izinto ezine creativity entrepreneurship ngeke mfethu singabiki stress ne depression anxiety so wena uma ubhekana nezinto ezikanjalo uye wenze kanjani mfethu
that's I wasn't even waiting for the question but it's a good one so there's a funny thing ebengikhuluma just with I'm at a meeting now the day before yesterday. Sikhulume wona leyo nto but just to answer you shortly bengithi nakubona ngicabanga ukuthi I don't have into njenge method ukuthi ngidila kanje but I've just become more cautious of lento ye mental health manje yabo oqala bekuyinto obuyitshela yona ukuthi because we are all new in this business and entrepreneurship thing and even for no matter how many books we've read they don't emphasize kulento ye stress nalento ye my emotions and what that goes into entrepreneurship it's always like climb a ladder so when we get to this part nathi sibe nale drawback ukuthi angifuni ukukhuluma ngayo because ngibonakala ngiweak yabo ukhona uSimon Sinek wahamba wakwenza uphumelele ukhona Richard Branson wahamba so if mina ngikhala manje ukuthi ne song ngibonakala ngiweak as if I must just ship out yabo so it's always been like that mhlambe and then we end up bearing our feelings to cry alone if you cry, you drink if you drink or whatever we can the time you're thinking you're having fun and mhlambe you actually keep a lente ngaphakathi ukuthi I'm frustrated man and I want to do this so I think for many years that's how I've done with distractions as a way of dealing with stress until ngafunda ngalento ye-mental health very recently. And then last week I went for a yoga lesson. It was my first time. And I've gone for therapy. I started therapy in January, December or January, between there. But I started going for therapy sessions. And that's how my therapy sessions are, every now and then to just have that person, to have your offload and then they sort of like have a conversation.
Because we need that mfethu yabona le journey esihambayo mfethu yabona ucreator. I feel like mina uma ufuna ukuba i-creator uyachallengewa ngale ndlela impilo yenza sure ngempela ukuthi ucreateile ubujulukile yabo. And le stigma vele is behind lezi zinto mina I don't understand it vele ukuthi ekugcineni because akusizi yabona umunye nathi abantu abakhuliswe kuthiwa indoda ayikhali yabo kodwa leso statement uma usibheka in this century akumele ukuthi statement ngempela engathiwa kusamele ukuthi ngempela sonke silwele ukuthi asibe iqiniso because ekugcineni siyazi mfethu ukuthi you can't just bury things ngalesikhathi uthi uyayibury izinto and you find other way to distract yourself uthola ukuthi you are creating more problems yabo you are creating more problems azokuheta even more futhi coming forward ugcina usuphila impilo manje ongazi ukuthi uyapi because phela i-direction mina I do believe ukuthi it's always with you yabo wena umuntu uset a tone ukuthi as much as zoba nawo ama-challenges esingeke siwavimbe ngoba phela impilo injalo ukuze yenzeke kodwa uma uyisethile i-tone and make sure ukuthi yonke into you follow leyo nto leyo uthola ukuthi uzofika lapho ngoba phela ngisho i-suicide rate uma uyibheka la e-KZN iyanda mfethu yabo into vele ngesomthetho lena edinga ukuthi isukunyelwe kumele iphele lento okuthiwa ubutsizwa lobu ngoba phela enye into esibuye sithathe kanjalo thina sithi hayi ngoba ubutsizwa yishuthwe naye uvuthiwe yabo awusiyinqwele uma kanje kanti phela you can't turn feelings off
mfethu serious lento esho because if nakhona uyibheka i-research it actually shows that kulawo ma-statistics abantu besilisa ibona abali so I think vele kuqhamuka kuzona zonke lezo zinto we always think ukuthi if umuntu wesilisa you must just suppress your feelings and move on with life
and you must provide futhi noma ngathiwa kanjani umuntu wesilisa yabona ngisho ngathiwa niyalingana nomuntu wesimama kodwa wena umuntu wesilisa kulindele ukuthi ube nezinto yabo yena angakwazi ukungamla lutho futhi i-pressure it's too much kubantu besilisa kahle kahle mozobheka kahle yabo it's too much because wonke umuntu and akekho futhi umuntu is like teaching you how to be a man yabo omile ngaphambili ekutshela ukuthi indoda yenza kanje siyazibonela nje nathi mfethu sithathe lapha nalapha sihlanganise sizama ukuthi yabona nathi siye phambili yabo and ngempela siyadinga ukushintsha so nje wena according to wena mhlambe njengamanje because I feel like i-South African dream ayikazi define yabo so according to wena ungathi yini i-South African dream nje njengomuntu nje owenza mfethu whatever you doing yabona
I think in communications we try and sonke we are whether we realize that realize we are working towards that dream. So that's a very important question because again then you come back to asking yourself do people who play in this space and especially media as a wide range do they actually realize that that's what we're creating? In 2019, we started a publication, an in-house publication in Loba Creation. It's called New Africa Biz. So just to touch on that, so when we say New Africa, the main purpose of that publication was to profile the whole of Africa and so to speak, to rebrand the whole of Africa. Says Sikhulume one common language. This is who we are. So it also goes along the lines of what we're telling African stories. But now we were saying, even in a commercial way, that us be the ones. This is what you find in Africa. Africa is about this. This is what Africa wants. So it features AU. That's why we made it a Southern African publication because we didn't want to focus only on South Africa. But going back to South Africa, and it's important to mention because now we are even a leader of that African Union because our president is the one who chairs that African Union. So I think we are in a position now with whatever the South African dream is. On my part, we have a dream of reaching political stability. That is one part. And then the second part is we do, even though we downplay it, aspire to be a first world country. And in masibukela all other African countries, we look at ourselves in a position minerals in South Africa, we actually do have the capacity to become a first world country. There are a lot of things that we need to do away with. Unfortunately, esazithola sesicindezelekile kuzona sesibambile but you can see without all of those things kube sahleli nalama minerals nje, and now our minds are starting to click ukuthi
ngabe besoba mnandi ngaphela besoba mnandi kakhulu yabona.
Yeah, so I think the South African dream, we now urgently want to realize ourselves as an independent country. Nama minerals whether it's possible, when it is possible, I think it doesn't matter, but that is the remaining South African.
Ngoba phela si rich kahle ngesomthetho thina, even ngisho Africa nje as a continent, it's the richest continent in terms of ama resources naturally yonke into, kodwa manje ngokwemali uthola ukuthi thina futhi siphuwa kakhulu yabo. And amanye amazwe they are leading mfowethu, Kenya yabona ukuthi they are trying, Rwanda they are trying. Uma ukuthi sonke ngempela sifika lapho, it's possible ukuthi Africa can like belong ngempela to Africans ekugcineni yabo. So ngifuna ke nje sike sikhulumeke manje ke about this book yabo, Black Distinct yabo, Success in the Color Black. Yabo ngifuna sikhulume ngayo mfowethu yabona nje, senze even some smallanyana review yabo kuyona mfowethu, because izo phela izinto lezi abantu yabo ekumele bazenze. Yabo people must read mfowethu, must read, because ulwazi kubantu selfishwe eincwadini yabo. Yabo nje inama chapter mangaka u12.
That's 12 chapters.
Hayi cha ukuthi phela ngizoyinika wena ngasomthetho yabo, because ngifuna ureview le part nawe that you wanna review yabo kuyona incwadi.
Okay, no problem. All right, so do we start with, I think, with the back, just to give it a bit of introduction?
Yeah.
You can grab a copy just to see. But just in a nutshell, le ncwadi talks about intwana uLedwaba. So I came up with a character uLedwaba. Ledwaba is from South Coast, so Joab Sikhulume is someone who can relate. Osuke emakhaya, and then comes to the city. Ezopursuwa lempilo le naye, but at the back of his mind ufika nalento I could say unale idea of what success looks like, but from a perspective yentwana esuka emakhaya define leyo success ngokuthi ibuka iTV, or being told ukuthi hey, this person who comes embodies success because of different features. Maybe those features are mhlampe could be the way that people dress, or what they drive, or whatever the case is. But kunale picture asuka now. So the book basically shows you ukuthi iyiphi picture le ntwana ebeyinayo, and then mase befika la eThekwini they are confronted by reality. So it then shows you impilo yalo. I think of every entrepreneur, you have this idea in your head, it's okay, so jump from point A to B to C, but when life happens,
that I was dreaming about.
So in a nutshell, the book is about that. Basically by nama tales to sort of make it interesting, so it's not just a like a model scripted,
because phela vele incwadi si relate more mfethu when it's in story form ngesomthetho yabo thina as people, that's what iyona into esigcina si interested yabo, because manje into ku story form kulula mfethu yabo to put myself in
yabo. So in a nutshell, the story is about that, until Ntwana sort of finds himself in a space where he has defined it as his own success. Kodwa futhi agcine se appreciate wonke la amanye ama experiences actually wonke la ama experiences ese packaged is what success actually is. So that's why we say it's black distinct. So it's sort of like a distortion and a distinction from the normal narrative of success. Yeah, so that's
yabo nje nami I can even relate kwakuyona isamari nje lo ishoyo ngayo yabo I can relate because yabo I can see myself nami ku story mfethu because I think we all mfethu egcineni sonke sinayo lento. This is all what we are trying ukuyithola ukuthi what is success in our own way yabo, in our own perspective, because phela komunye umuntu sike sitshe thithini success mfethu ukuthi ngifane nawe yabo. Thola ukuthi manje ngizokuthola konke lokhu wena okwenza ube happy kodwa you find ukuthi kusana le void ekhona kumina yabo engenza ngingabi happy because it's not me yabo. And the success ayisiyo ngalendlela ebukwa omunye umuntu. The success you define it your own way.
Yeah, absolutely. Yona lento esilwa nawo ngale ncwadi when you say black distinct ukuthi there's no universal or uniform way that you can define success. Umuntu fanele I experience I embrace and it's more or less like a personal journey that each and every person has. So you can't really define it ngokwe success yomunye umuntu because you don't know ukuthi le package inani lezi ezinye izinto ezenzeka behind closed doors ayiboni umuntu bese qhamuke sengena with a nice tuxedo wena uyitshele ukuthi
yesephumelele kade lutho ngoba vele kudidiswa kanjalo ngisho kuma business uma kuzopitcha kuma business afike umuntu eharishe ngisho imoto lapha nawe ubonke lo muntu asimnike yonke le mali kade perception.
Exactly.
So manje abantu bangayithola kuphi incwadi umuntu nje ofuna ukuyithenga incwadi ikuziphi itolo mfethu abangakwazi ukuthi bayithole kuzona?
So very nice is Adams and Greeks, they had it, but unfortunately I think the store had to close down after COVID. Exclusive Books has it, but I think just a limited number of stores now because the last time I checked, they say Exclusive Books at my airport. Mostly Cape Town had a lot of copies. I'm saying this because also I will touch on that. When you write a book, why would you know where the book is at and kungenzeka kanjani futhi
ngoba phela ngiyafuna nawe uthi vele sikuchaze futhi lokho
So and then it's online also. I've seen it on the warehouse. It's still listed on the warehouse.
Yiphi webplay ukuze cause bayibheka kakhulu phela online yona.
It's called the Reader's Warehouse.
The Reader's Warehouse.
The Reader's Warehouse online. And I think what's this other site? This huge site that is known. Amazon.
Amazon.
It's on Amazon as well. And it's now at a discounted price for about 135, I think, a copy.
Very reasonable. In fact, for ulwazi mfethu yabona ukuba inspired incane lo mali yabo. So manje how do you track phela ngifuna explain wayona how do you track ukuthi ikuphi nendawo because phela ababhali mfethu ufuna abantu bebhala ababebazi yonke into yabona.
So there's kunale perception yokuthi I think it's a true reflection of your perception. Yokuthi you decide if you want to be an independent author. So that means everything that has to do with the book, the packaging, the printing, the distribution, it's on you. And I understand a lot of these entrepreneurs jump at a starting point how straining that could be. Bese kuba khona lento ke of handing over or signing over your rights to a publisher or to a distribution. So in most cases, about they get published, and that publishing company would withhold, or maybe they say keep a majority of the rights of the book, which is what happens in my case. And then you retain this percentage. So more or less like I'm an artist, I'm a royalty. Thing. So people tend to say with the whole perception around mhlambe distributor lezi imali
plus kuyabiza phela kuyabiza
kufuneka imali umuntu bese ethi but labana bathatha ichunk engaka bang-exploit abanjanjani angeke ngikudispute lokho, but I'm saying ukuthi one of the advantages mina that I learned is especially as a business person and busy person also le ncwadi le was handed over rights to a book distributor in Cape Town and also to a publisher in Cape Town as well. And what they do is umsebenzi wabo bayayithatha incwadi mawusubhalile because you're a new author awaziwa maybe in the literature space where people buy books. Some people bathenga incwadi ukuthi umuntu bayamazi and they want to hear more from that person. So umsebenzi wabo bona they do the complete marketing and distribution of the book. So they take your book, you just get an invite mhlambe kuthiwa come to this studio interview, come to this event, you're going to be presenting your book. They do all of that when you just sit and you fold your hands, and they do the marketing, the sales and everything. So that's how you would not know, because even bona bafaka incwadi yakho kulezo itolo, negotiate with those shops, bookstores and all of that. And then on a monthly basis, between me and my distributor, on a monthly basis, they will send you a report ukuthi incwadi performa kanjani with the different provinces as well, so that you can see ukuthi ithengwa kakhulu la eCape Town, ithengwa kakhulu la eThekwini, but they send you that leyo report and you see ama-sales ahambe kanjani, and then you get your percentage from the sales that were generated for that month.
Ngoba phela iyona ngasomthetho engcono leyo option. I feel like as much as because manje it's not like what you're paying now, you're giving them ama royalty nabo bapilivela vele kutheni the book will be a success. So into enjalo iyasiza mfethu, other than ukuthi uzoprint into yakho mfethu uhlale endlini uyigodle ingafiki kubantu ingakhulu yabo bazona uchoba ukuthi hayi kodwa 100% yabo kanti manje vele yabo uyalimala still yabo uyalimala. So nje even kwanina ababukele bakhaya yabo, get yourself a black distinct by Don Mthethwa yabo, uyiseshe nje ko Amazon njengobesho yonke indawo yabo la engatholakala khona. And bona ke abantu asithi mhlambe manje kunomuntu ofuna ukuconnecta nawe, how they can find you, ngicela mhlambe banika ama social media network, even nani number for if mhlambe ungenankinga nokuthi baku WhatsApp yabo.
No, it's not a problem. I think let me start with the number. A number I WhatsApp, it's 071 750 5492.
Hayi vele bangaphosa mfethu podcast le bayithatha inamba bahlehle futhi.
And then I work on my social media. I think I'm on Facebook, I'm on Twitter, I'm on LinkedIn, I'm on Instagram, but wonka uDon Mthethwa. If you just search Don Mthethwa, I should pick up on all of those. There's no underscore, nothing. Wonka nje uDon Mthethwa. With Facebook iyahlukana, but Twitter it's @Don Mthethwa ohlangene with the capital letter DNM.
Okay. I know mfethu ngiyabonga nje ngokuthi mfethu ube nathi studio yabo nje sesizovala ke mfethu manje kunomuntu ke lapha ke emakhaya ke nanoma kephi naye mfethu is wondering ukuthi angazithola kanjani yena ngenze njani mfethu naye ukuthi ashintshe isimo. What advice mhlawumbe can you give umuntu njengalayo ukuthi naye aqale mfethu enze something?
I think if ucabanga about your wildest dream, kuzoba nale frustration yokuthi umqondo wakho uzohlezi uyibuza ukuthi kuzokwenzeka nini. But mhlambe quite to introspection, mawubuye uhlale nawe wedwa bese uyibuza ukuthi kuze ngize ngifune kwenzeke nje ngokwe reality ngifuna kwenzeke kanjani. So I think mawuyibuza leyo mbuzo leyo, it's enough to push you ukuthi no angiqale manje. So maybe advice engingayinikeza futhi abantu, because I've realized ngisho kwama industry ethu ukuthi abantu banale perception bese ukuthi ukuqala, and it's true, but to an extent ukuthi ukuqala kudinga ezinkulu imali nani ecabanga ukuthi uzostress or funding nani. But like we were saying ukuthi once umuntu understand ukuthi it's yonke lento, it's a journey, it's a process ekufanele uyi-embrace, uyithathe wazi ukuthi okay sekuyimpilo esengizoyiphila. It's a lifestyle, it's not like it's a once off thing othi ngiyalapha and that's it. Once wa realize lokho, you will realize ukuthi the better time to start is now, because kufana nokuthi uyasukuma manje, you're going to take steps walking out of here. So when you realize that for me to get outside there, actually I must take the step. I think you're an advice engayinikeza abantu. It's minimal. mancane ngisho ama-cost of even registering a company, but it doesn't have to be a company. Lento abantu abacabanga ukuthi mhlawumbe oma it-turns and what, and they have to think about commercial things. Esikhathini samanje, even things that you enjoy, abantu bangayi-explore and maybe ask themselves umbuzo ukuthi, okay, how can I make this ibe ne-value ngokuthi ngi-attach price kuyona. Not so much ukuthi I'm charging people, but bayibuke ngendlela yokuthi ngifuna ukcreate i-value kulento, because we all know ukuthi once there's a price, then people start valuing something. Kunento ekuthiwa is completely free. Yeah, so bayibuke kanjalo, whatever umuntu ayithandayo, go for it, do it, attach value to it by adding a price. And abantu bangisho kuthiwa bavakashela i-back room yakho nengadi enhle nani. If you have a story to tell, just go with it.
And futhi bazokhokha abantu yabo, bazokhokha. Siyabona ngisho ku social media manje ngisho izinto ezenzeka la, everyone is pushing yabo.
Yeah, umuntu wenza ama bid work yabo, people come and they manje sekuyile lento cultural heritage banahlezi abakade hlezi abakhona.
And siyakuthanda ukuhlangana sabantu.
Yes. So that's what I'm saying. Good, whatever umuntu ene passion yayo, they must just go for it. It's bayitshele nabo ukuthi no, ang-attach i-value kulento, so that people will start understanding it ngaleyo ndlela leyo.
I know. Thank you so much, my brother Mthethwa, for being part of the show. Ngiyabonga nje kakhulu Mthethwa. Sekuba nama mic yabo. If ungaka subscribe page, just make sure to subscribe yabo. Follow uDon Mthethwa nje kona wonke ama social media platform. Buy the book yabona, buy the book. Na into esifunayo abantu bathola umqondo to get insight and to understand ngempela ukuthi we are growing, because nathi si grow South African industry, Durban industry, inhloso vele leyo vele. That's why even sikhuluma nabantu abakanje yabona, suke nje senzela khona lokho. So Lumkile Zinyanga signing out. Thank you.